Hello everyone, my name is Kane and welcome to what might just be the ending of Chaos Head Noah, the last episode. So, we've done all the other endings, and now a new option has appeared on the title screen here, Blue Sky. Let's not waste any time, let's just get into it. Blue Sky. Chapter 10, Blue Sky. Nishijo Nanami prays. In a hospital, amid alongside her brother, curled up in the corner of a waiting room, brimming with injured souls. Clutching her real brother's wrinkled hand, enduring the pain in her right hand, she closes her eyes and prays for the safety of her other brother. Kusunoki Yua prays by the rubble of a collapsed building in a container that lay buried by it all, clutching one of his anime girl figures, enduring the pain in her chest from seeing his figures desecrated by the earthquake and ensuing fires. She closes her eyes and prays for the safety of the boy who forgave her. Kishimoto Ayase prays at Suime Academy, now an evacuation shelter, looking to the sky from the rooftop, clutching her paperback book of legends, enduring the malicious pain of the innumerable delusions concealing the collapsed Shibuya. She closes her eyes and prays for the safety of the boy who listened to her song and her story. Orihara Kozue prays at Shinsen Station, on a dimly lit platform, clutching Aoi Sena's trembling hand. Enduring the pain of her injured leg, she closes her eyes and prays for the safety of the boy, her classmate, whom she spoke with in her inner voice. Aoi Sena prays, sitting beside her father on the ground, clutching her father's cold hand, enduring the pain of regrets, having not been honest to the very end. She closes her eyes and prays for the safety of the boy who tried to grant her wish, no matter how clumsily. Sakihata Rimi prays, lying on the cold floor, tightly clutching her own hands extended toward him, enduring the tightening in her chest from when she saw him covered in wounds. She closes her eyes and prays for the safety of the boy whom she swore to protect, yet instead came to save her. I was unable to do anything. It was you who acted. As a result, everyone has had their eyes on you. Mutual recognition of you has long since been established. From this point forward, no, already, you are... I am... Who are you? You are me. Yes. I am you. Yes. There's no me. No. There's no you. No. I'm not me. No.
You're my big bro.
Yes.
You're Nishijo-kun.
Yes.
You're Takumi.
Yes.
You're Takumi-chan.
Yes.
You're Nishijo.
Yes.
You're Taku.
Yes. I am me. Yes. I am a delusionary existence. Yes. I exist. Yes. I am Nishijo Takumi. Yes. I am. The moment I hear that voice, my consciousness stabilizes me. The once swirling world converges all at once. My D-sword takes shape as a converging chaos. I return to my shape as myself. The world returns to its shape as the world. I am me! Shall we end this? I can see clearly now. All my wounds healed. My top and bottom halves are connected. I'm standing on my own 2 feet. The pain is entirely gone. Serenity fills my heart. The will to overcome the delusions. I entrust you with less of my power. I notice ringing at the edge of my vision. She's okay. She's looking at me. Tears are falling down her face. Don't cry. Come on. Wings. All their D-swords. They're all here. Directly behind me, space begins to warp. Prayers are brought into creation. The 6 Gospels, or perhaps the impulses of 6 spirits. All too pure, all too graceful, all too dignified. All too sharp, all too ferocious, all too destructive. And all too awash with an ill-omened beauty. I accept every piece of them. The 6 blades writhe above. Wistfully, or perhaps rapturously, they raise their shrieks. Let's go. Infused with my D-sword. Summoning my strength, I grasp the D-sword's hilt. I ascertain its feeling. My arms work better than ever. I've completely regenerated.
My, this is quite fascinating. That monstrosity.
Focus my eyes on Narose. Sure, I'm a monster. This is. So I can rescue Rimi. So I can destroy Noah too. The illusion that I wished for. Narose's response is swift. He has yet to harvest the code sample of Nishijo Takumi. The illusion was supposed to corner the boy and shatter his psyche, but now the tables have turned. And that he cannot allow. Narose closes the gap between himself and Takumi. Taking a specific angle, he swings a D-sword from the below. With a D-sword that can cleave any known object, he diagonally carves through Takumi's chest. The target's durability makes no difference. Killing a person with it is as simple as slicing through a block of gelatin. With one quick flight from Narose, Takumi's body split into pieces. His head, right arm, and right shoulder all slide cleanly off his body. Internal organs litter the floor, but not a single drop of blood falls with them. The lower half of Takumi's body begins to give away. He braces himself and manages to plant his feet. In the following moment, the cross-section of his wound begins to undulate and squirm. Not this time. A bubbling noise ensues. In this following moment, the cross-section of his wound begins to undulate and squirm. And then he regenerates. Unharmed, unaffected. Even though his body was cleaved apart a mere second ago, already a new head, right arm, and shoulder were born. His old head and internal organs remain where they slid free from him. I already blocked off my sense of pain. With a single step, Takumi approaches Narose. Narose clicks his tongue and turns over his D-sword.
By virtue of casting aside your bodily form, any form whatsoever is within your means, I take it.
You can think the illusion showed me. He's unable to retain his shape as a human being. He took into the illusion and made it his own. This is not regeneration, but replacement. Missing parts replenish, flesh and bone are produced once again, all propagating infinitely from the dust within his body. His shape is not fixed. Like an amoeba, like a collection of slime, he can change himself freely. That is the reason Takumi calls himself a monster. Takumi takes yet another step toward Narose. Narose's frustration increases. Gripping the hilts, he thrusts his D-sword at the approaching Takumi. Takumi's head finds itself between the colossal pair of scissors.
No, without the brain, you can't have any more delusions, now can you?
Takumi's head is crushed, splits like a watermelon, blood and gray matter burst forth. Everything above the neck is gone, and yet Takumi's body remains. Regeneration, replacement is instantaneous. As soon as his heel hit the ground, as if nothing happened, as if he was entirely replaced, his head returns right to where it was without a single scratch. Narose awakens to an understanding. He cannot win this fight. Physical attacks with his D-sword are useless. The delusional attack denying the boy's reason for existence was taken in and used for an alternate purpose. The current Nishijo Takumi is all too removed from human normalcy, all too distorted of an existence, all too fitting as a monster. And yet despite it all, Narose has no intention of conceding. His next thought is to utilize Noah 2's power to bombard Takumi with innumerable antiparticles. Bombardment with antiparticles can transform any known existence into negative matter, ending ultimately in self-collapse. If disruption from the surface is not viable, the collapse must be undertaken from within. You're on the right track. Narose's thoughts were read by Takumi. The shine of Takumi's D-sword transforms from red to black. A black flame envelops the blade. It wriggles forth, extending outward. Its shape resembles that of a dark, colossal serpent. And then it shall appear. It roams throughout the dome as if constrained by it. Toward the ceiling, toward the floor, as though it is licking them up, as though it's scraping them away. It simply consumes. A dark, colossal serpent of wicked hearts. A being capable of devouring all corrosion, shattering the wicked-hearted king's body itself, instilling heterogeneity in his homogeneity. The body of the colossal serpent is composed of antiparticles. With a mere touch, it can send any known object into self-collapse. A torrent of destruction composed of near-infinite greed. Can't say I'm all that fond of tentacle boy, no. There and then, Takami's D-sword swings, its point tip fixed on Narose. Fall. The dark serpent, winding itself in a coil, curves its body like a whip. Its jaw snaps at Narose.
Such power! It can't be!
Not once has Narose ever seen such a phenomenon from a D-sword. He cannot discern whether it was the hidden power of all Gigglomaniacs or merely Takami's delusion. The dark things erode Narose's body, and he begins to collapse. All too slowly, like a frog slowly dissolving in the belly of a snake. His darkness swallows him. He feels no pain. By nature, his death should be instant. That is not what Takami wishes for. Realizing this, Narose's lips twist into a derisive smile. Narose had no fear of death. One could say that the ideals he pursued were accomplished with the completion of Noah 2.
Even if you kill me, no other person can approach Noah 2. A perpetual motion machine. That is what you are dealing with. Its administration of humanity will last until the end of time. It does not merely sit idle and watch from afar. Rather, it is the man-made god which interferes for the sake of mankind's happiness.
Narose is God's inventor, so to speak. As long as Noah 2 continues to exist, mankind will not perish, and the eternal utopia Narose seeks will become real. However, for you, can approach it, can't you?
What?
The serpent's body wriggles and writhes with Narose in its grasp, lifting his body into the air. In this case, then you're the key. Narose is astonished, but soon enough his face changes into an expression of pure agony. The serpent swings about his body with ease. Takami shoots a glance at Rimi. Their eyes meet. Just what is Rimi feeling as she watches him? Reading her mind would be effortless, and yet Takami does nothing of the sort. Seems I was able to save you after all. He quickly averts his eyes. His gaze then shifts to the still humming Noah 2, throne of God, where none may stand foot. A cradle which shows naught but dreams of bliss. I'm sorry. He apologizes to no one in particular. I very well might be the enemy of humanity. The eternal utopia this thing would bring. A future without conflict. Takami will extinguish them with his own two hands. Is that right? Or is it wrong? Takami cannot give the answer to that. That's pretty common in mythology. Even gods tend to slack off when women are involved. That's why I, too, will sacrifice the happiness of mankind out of a love for a girl. Takami, D-sword in hand, bends his arms in a giant arc. Break through! He thrusts it forth, just like a javelin. The colossal serpent of darkness charges straight ahead. With the bait known as Narose impaled by its tip, it flies straight toward Noah 2. An enormous serpent of antiparticles, capable of terminating any known object. It had no will of its own, thus is not something that could be warped or distorted. With the greedy impulse to destroy, using Narose as the key, the delusional barrier is easily smashed to pieces. There it goes. There goes Narose's D-sword. Did I just When did the rain begin to fall? There was just a huge explosion, and its blast blew my body away like it was nothing more than a rag doll. Next thing I knew, I found myself lying here. Those eyes were always watching me. The stare pierces through the thick, pitch-black rain clouds and pours down on me like rain. Don't look at me. My body won't stop shivering, not from the chill of the rain, but rather the ice-cold rubble pressing against my back. So terribly cold. A gaze pierces me from the heavens. Who it belongs to, I can't say. As if to escape it, I raise my head to look at the environment around me. There I see a ruined city. There I see despair. There I see death. There I see nothingness. Not a soul is there. Not a soul is moving. Not a soul is left alive. The only thing I can hear is the sound of the rain continuing to pour. At this rate, everything, both the living and the dead, would all be gently embraced and washed away. How nice it would be if it was all just a delusion, but it doesn't seem to be the case. I can't move my body. I can only move my eyes and neck, and even then just barely. I can't use that monstrous power from before. My body is shivering, but that's nothing more than a physiological phenomenon. It isn't happening by my own will. I don't want my body to tremble. If I can't move it freely, then it isn't my body. Or maybe I've never had free will ever since I was born. Nobody knows exactly where the soul resides. Bearing that in mind, how can anyone say that there is a soul inside this body of mine? But then where exactly am I now? Am I really here? Am I anywhere at all? In this shattered world where all stands still, where all that can be heard is the rain of death, suddenly another sound echoes through it. A single solitary existence begins to emerge from the sea of nothingness. Who are you? Is your skin so pale because it's been numbed by the chill of the rain? Or is it because you're already dead? And yet the girl isn't shivering, and those eyes of hers, nearly hidden by her bangs. Don't look at me. They look so terribly sad. They look as if they hold a hint of madness. They look as if they reflect nothing. If she and I were the only ones left in the world, if we stare into each other's eyes like this for all eternity, would my world be reduced to the reflection in her eyes? Would her world be reduced to the reflection in my eyes? The only thing reflected in her eyes is me. The only thing reflected in my eyes is her. When I think of it that way, the world immediately seems so much smaller. Hey. Suddenly, a flash of static reaches my ears. One endlessly beautiful, yet deeply discordant. She lowers her head and spreads her arms wide, almost as if preparing to take off, to soar high above the rain clouds, or as if trying to catch all the falling rain. All that's watching you is a delusion. From where I am on the ground, I can't see the expression on that lowered head of hers. Behind this thin veil of rain, just what kind of face are you making? I'll put you to rest now. An angel? Are those dancing feathers of light blessing me? Or... I see. I finally understand. She's going to use that to kill me. The girl slowly kneels to the ground before my collapsed body. With her head still lowered, she gently takes my own in her hands. I surrendered to my body to her grasp, relieved she isn't looking at me. I'll put you to rest now. In my ear, I hear a whisper, garbled by static. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. There's nothing to apologize for. If I don't disappear, the other me, the real me, will die. So that's why I'm okay with this. In fact, I'm really glad I get to be erased by you. It's not a bad end for a monster like me. I don't have any regrets. A warm, soft, gentle, sweet sensation. And miraculously, as if it were anesthetic, the shivering in my body slowly begins to die down. Suddenly, I sense something pressing against my chest. The large sword she holds tears through my skin and bores into my flesh, weaves through my bones, and slowly sinks through to the center of my body. But gifted with the anesthesia of her kiss, I no longer feel any pain. I would never have imagined I'd get such a kind death. Just the thought of it breaks my heart, leaving me on the verge of tears. Trying to hide them, I look past the girl's head up toward the ashen sky, where the rain continues to pour. I can't do it. Her lips pull away from me. Her sad whispers trickle into my ears. Remy? I knew it. I can't kill you, Taku. I feel no pain. Her sword isn't real booted. My body isn't injured in the slightest. But you have to erase me. If you don't, the real me will die. He will die. That's why I should die instead. That way he can stay alive for just a little bit longer. I'm sure that's what you want too. Erase me. Erase all that I am. I can't. Remy lightly shakes her head. Those eyes of hers waver as they stare at me. I love you. I love how weak you are. How even though you're so weak, so cowardly, you let yourself be torn to pieces just to save someone like me. I love how strong you are. I want to spend so much more time with you. I don't want to lose you. I want you to live. You'll look at me? But I'm a monster. So am I. Is it okay for me to keep on living? If you so choose, it is more than okay for you to live. I hear a voice from the sky, and with that I understand. Because our minds are directly connected, I perceive a certain feeling. That right now, at this very moment, his life just vanished. Takumi is dead, isn't he? In that moment, Remy quickly sensed the emotions my face conveyed. Hesitating for a moment, I gave her a faint nod. Don't cry. I don't want you to cry. Feeling returns to my entire body. Warmth returns to my body as well. Even though my movements are still clumsy. Even though I'm still trembling. With the hand I can move, I take out a vermilion handkerchief. Remy's face is covered in tears. The drops that are so beautiful. So clear. I softly wipe them away with all the memories you've given me. I love you too. Remy tightly clasps my hand as if she wishes to cling to it forever. As if to confirm that we exist right here. The warmth within us is contagious. Both mine and your temperatures melt together. The two of us look up at the sky. Without a doubt, it's covered by clouds. But Light is composed of electromagnetic waves. The oscillations of these waves are what we perceive as color. Taku, those words. Words that only he and Rimi should know. Words that he used to give Rimi hope. And yet I know them, because I've seen his memories. He and I are one in body and soul. My memories and his are shared between us. His memories of the 17 years of life he lived were all passed down to me. And he vicariously experienced my own year and a half of life. If we apply the color we desire to our own dead spots, the color of our sky can be regained. We know that color, because in that image world of only sea and sky, it's the color we gazed up at and burned into our memories. Bring back our sky. Suddenly, the rain stops. In an instant, the clouds vanish. It's clearing up. Coming back. Something that, no matter where you look, always seems to draw you in. Gently blankets the world. The blue sky above. Holy shit. It's weird to say this, but that's it. You know, it's a weird feeling knowing that that's it. We have beaten the game. We have gotten every ending, including the final one of Blue Sky. Man. What a journey and a half, man. And yet, what a beautiful journey as well. An endlessly beautiful journey that could never really ever be replicated, I feel. Well, yeah, that's it. I know there's still a bunch of delusions I probably missed, but again, I just wanted to get all the endings. But yeah, that's Chaos Head Noah. This has been a big thing for me to finally get finished, and it's strange to feel that it's done with. I've had this game on my mind ever since I tried my first attempt of it. Even when I dropped it for a while because of things going on in other games, I never once forgot about this game. I couldn't ever get it out of my head, and now it's done. It's actually done now. It's just such a strange feeling. Having it all finished. Man. It feels weird. I don't know what else to say. But I absolutely did love this game. It was fantastic. I guess what's next then on the agenda? Of course, Chaos Child is in the cards potentially later. I don't know if maybe I'll do... Again, you guys know how I work, which is I don't really work at all, in the sense that I don't know... I kind of just go with the flow. So, yeah, if, whatchamacallit, while I, of course, what am I trying to say again? I immediately got, like, completely sidetracked in my thoughts. Let me just start over from the beginning, because I don't even know what I was talking about just now. I completely lost focus. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the Chaos Child thing. So, Chaos Child. That's probably going to be the next... Well, it might be the next game we play through. It's definitely going to be one of the games we eventually play. I just don't know. I mean, again, I'm probably not going to be... I'm currently playing through, whatchamacallit, 100 Line at the moment, so... For a little bit, I'm just going to have 100 Line be the only playthrough on the channel for just a little bit, not for the entire time. Of course, I'm not going to do that because of how many endings that game has. But just for a little bit, maybe like, give me like 3 days to a week. Give me 3 days to a week. Might be sooner than that, might be later than that, but I want to say 3 days to a week before the next, before another playthrough starts up. Again, it might be Chaos Child. I'll see. I won't deny, playing through this game does make me curious about it, but we'll see. Still though, what a beautiful game. No. Oh hey. Finally abandoning it. The Sarah figure. It's not needed anymore. Don't need to live in that delusion anymore. Don't need to listen to her delusional thoughts anymore. Game? 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 Game, okay. I was about to say, game. Blue sky. Ending complete. Reached all endings. I'm sorry, what did I just get? Delusion? What the... Thanks. I'm sorry, you just gave me what? A prelude? Are we not done yet? What? Oh, what the... Oh, my... What the heck's going on here? Before we go, there's something I want to confirm. No. Interesting. I don't see it. There's one thing that I was expecting to see, but it's not here. The thing that I was expecting to see was, whatchamacallit, friggin', words. Oh my gosh, why can't I not think here? Everyone else's swords are described here, but not Takumi's. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, I said all this stuff about it being the end, but, what's this? Delusion of Zero, a Chaos Head Prelude. Before I pass on, allow me to recount my memories leading to this moment. Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world. Those are the words of Albert Einstein. When his delusion, E equals mc squared, embraced the world, how had the man felt? You surmise, yes, what you surmise is true. The famous gifted physicist was in fact a gigalomaniac. And a fairly exceptional one at that. My powers undoubtedly pale in comparison to his. Yet, despite my saying so, I unknowingly brought a similar delusion into existence. To deny that reality would be a fool's errand, for my delusion has already spread far across the world. Fun to the 10th power times int to the 40th power equals IR2. I believe I was in 4th grade when I materialized that formula. It was also around that time when my body first began to suffer various abnormalities. Ever since its very birth, that delusion had slowly eroded my body. In a mere 6 months, I was no longer able to walk unassisted. At the time, I was not aware of my status as a gigalomaniac. I somehow managed to continue attending classes, but I proved unable to participate in an upcoming field trip due to my worsening condition. And so, despite my intense anticipation for the event, my parents forbade me from attending, which burdened me a fierce resentment toward them for a time. From that moment onward, my delusions continued to engorge, delusions synonymous with nothing but pure envy. These very delusions would go on to injure my classmates who had gone on the field trip without me, and kill the chaperoning teacher. Only then did I come to realize that I harbored a terrifying power. I was admitted to the hospital soon after. More time would pass, and eventually all the doctors present gave up on diagnosing my condition. All the doctors save for one. Narose Genichi. Although I was fairly young when I first encountered him, it only took a glance to understand this man's true, sinister nature. The two of us were alike, after all. Two souls far removed from common sense. Naturally, because of this fact, his proposed treatment for my condition was denied, and he was dismissed from my case. I was fortunate in that his successor turned out to be Dr. Takashina. Before Narose departed, however, I took the time to peer into his mind, and learned of both Project Noah and Nozomi technology. The very hospital I had been admitted to also served as the lair of my enemy. If nothing was done, my delusion would be utilized by Project Noah, and grave consequences would befall the world. When I realized this, I immediately attempted escape, but that was when I grasped a terrifying truth. Only as a result of my treatment had I come to reach a form of stability. In other words, my body had already deteriorated to a point where I could no longer survive outside of the hospital. I was intensely aware of the fact that my enemies were always near. I kept them at bay with delusions, but my body grew weaker with each person I stayed, and a vicious cycle that only served to further extend my stay at the hospital. If this were to continue, my capture by Narose would be inevitable. With no other options left to me, I was forced to erase every trace of my existence. I had ceased attending classes for some time prior to that point, so upon my classmates' graduation from elementary school, I executed my plan. Our treatment of Nishito Takumi has proven successful, and he has thus been discharged from the hospital. That is the fiction I created, one I implanted into the minds of my parents, as well as the entirety of the hospital staff. Any person who had any possibility of coming into contact with Narose was put under this impression. Then, using my delusions, I isolated myself in a hospital room separated from the rest of the building. But I was not able to alter everyone's memories. My younger sister, Nanami, proved to be an exception. Only she was able to enter the room with no semblance of difficulty. She did not even seem to recognize the room as separate from the hospital. Of course, whenever she took it upon herself to visit the hospital, I crafted a delusion allowing her to remain unseen by anyone present. Nanami, while quite childish, showed nothing but concern for me during my time in the hospital. Even on my darkest days, she put forth her best effort to care for me. Those moments she showed me how strong she truly was, and I found myself unable to steal her memories away from her. Nanami, however, was not the only exception. This was the time I came to know a girl named Sakihara Rimi. Rimi had been confined to the hospital's basement for nearly a year. Every day she would face brutal, ceaseless torture at the hands of Narose, but no matter how hard I tried to call out to her, my voice would never reach her. It was only upon her eventual awakening as a gigalomaniac that I finally managed to synchronize with her delusion. In that moment, I entered the world inside her mind, her image world. Whether that was truly for the best, I have yet to determine. The delusions she carries within her are endlessly sorrowful, and yet they are also her reality. Unable to face it, she had killed her own heart and mind numerous times before I met her, destroying all remnants of her past selves. The formula born from my delusions had brought this girl endless suffering. For all these reasons, I saved her. My delusionary powers allow me to travel anywhere. In reality, my body is still incapable of walking, but I am able to create a door that leads to any destination. Producing these delusions requires a great deal of strength, however, forcing me to only use it sparingly. And yet, despite this fierce tax on my body, I would not hesitate to give my life if it meant stopping Project Noah, a project I had effectively founded when I allowed my delusion to spread across the world. And so, upon isolating myself, I began to pour every ounce of strength into halting the advancement of Project Noah. However, the skill my enemies possessed matched my own, rendering my efforts useless. They had established a defensive strategy, and with it, the search for me had begun. If I were to make even one mistake, I would be discovered in an instant and captured. This manhunt would only serve to increase the danger Nanami was in, as the two of us were family. I had no desire to involve anyone in this fight, so I hid myself away from the world. In the end, I was naive, and 3 years went by entirely wasted. During that time, I conjured numerous delusions, but each only served to weaken me further. If this were to continue, there would be no way of stopping Project Noah. For this reason, I decided to give birth to you. To achieve this end, I had to sever every link I had left to society. My final remaining connection to the outside world, to my normal life, was Nanami. Because of this, I was forced to erase all memory she had of me. I know that my action caused her a great deal of pain. In our last moments together, it was clear how deeply hurt she was. Even so, I knew that pain was sure to leave her momentarily. As long as she forgot about me, she would be able to return to her normal life. Wishing only for her happiness, I liberated her from the burden known as myself. It was with Rimi that I miscalculated. Naturally, I tried to erase her memories as well. I wanted her to forget about her awakening as a gigalomaniac, about her sickly torture at the hands of Neurosi, and that she had ever met me. I wanted to give her a normal life. However, Rimi is an exceptionally skilled gigalomaniac. No matter how many times I tried to override her memories, my delusions were deflected without fail. It was clear she was very experienced in locking away her heart, all while wearing the brightest of smiles on her face. My attempts having borne no fruit, I abandoned all hope of altering her memories and thus redirected my efforts. Creating a human from nothing proved difficult, even with the power of delusions. I've come to know that the human soul is incredibly delicate, that it is as elaborate as it is precise. In order to create you, I focused completely on the personality the delusions would form. For an entire month's time, you were all I thought about. In a way, it was quite similar to falling in love, though I myself have never known the feeling. If you were to come to know this, I'm sure you would feel repulsed. Essentially, you are me. My memories, my abilities, and finally, my name. I have entrusted them all to you. The moment you are born, I will no longer be the boy known as Nishijo Takumi. From that moment on, I shall take on the moniker of Shogun. Why Shogun, you ask? Well, I quite like Togo Shogun. That is all there is to it. With that being said, once you are born, your role will no doubt be a very painful one. First and foremost, you must awaken as a gigalomaniac. To meet this end, you will have to endure an extreme mental load, a grave, unforgiving strain on your psyche. Once you awaken and grasp your D-Sword, the battle against Nozomi technology will begin. The battle to stop Project Noah. That is my ultimate goal, and by extension, yours. But I would be remiss if I did not say this. My reason for creating you was incredibly selfish. But I had no other choice. I cannot do this on my own. I hope you can find it in yourself to forgive me. When the curtain finally falls, you will be free. Once you are granted this freedom, please grant me this in turn. I ask that you turn a blind eye to my selfish desires, including forcing these memories onto you. And I ask that you be a good older brother to Nanami. Please. If I had the ability, I would have done all of this by myself. I would have done it while dreaming of the peace I would see once it all came to a close. It was a pleasure to meet you, Nishijo Takumi. Yet, this is also goodbye, Nishijo Takumi. Welcome to the world. Harsh battles await you, as do infinite possibilities. As long as the blue sky above exists, that fact can never be denied. You are me, and at the same time, you are also you. A hospital room none would visit, dyed orange by the setting sun. Clutching her niece silently in one of its corners, Sakihata Rimi noticed something strange occurring in Nishijo Takumi's bed. His breathing had quickened, his chest reduced to mere skin and bone, rose and fell rapidly with each breath. With a slow gasp, Rimi watched as innumerable thorn vines slowly radiated from the bed's center. A delicate construct that appeared both metallic yet organic, with a beauty that rivaled even the most breathtaking of sights. Vines of such description colored the room. They crept and crawled all over the walls and floor, overtaking every inch of the closed space the two resided in. Like the veins of a leaf, shards of translucent glass emerged from the surface of the vines, each pulsating with a flickering red light. Together, it was reminiscent of an 8-headed serpent, each branch possessing its own will. Nishijo Takumi's D-sword. Rumi had seen it only once before, but at that time it had been confined to one of his weak, frail hands, wrapped around it as tight as could be. Nishijo Takumi remained motionless on the bed. In spite of Rimi's attempts to inhibit him, she realized he had been successful in creating another self. As she gazed upon him, memories resurfaced of the time she had asked him if he intended to die as a result of his actions. To this, he had merely nodded. Soon the pulsing glow of the D-sword covering the walls began to dim, and before long the vines began to dry and crack. As they crumbled away around her, Rimi slowly rose to her feet. Taking care not to run into any thorns, she cautiously made her way over to the bed. Standing by his side, she lifted her hand and gently caressed Shogun's desiccated cheek. Still, he continued to breathe. Would he ever regain consciousness someday? At that moment in time, somewhere in Shibuya, another Nishijo Takumi had been born. Would she ever come to meet him someday? Until that day came, she would continue to wait here. For she had no family. For she had nowhere else to go. For she had no home to return to. No one waiting for her. Gazing out the window, Rimi looked to the many skyscrapers of Shibuya, each dyed a deep orange by the twilight, as a single trickle of tears slid down her cheek. All this came a mere 18 months before the Shibuya collapse. That's it? Okay. I wonder if it... Nothing new. I guess that's it for real this time. I didn't mean to hit that. Oh. Oh, go away. Return to the title menu. So I wonder if you hit shortcut. Aha! You can actually check the other endings now, or select the other endings that you want now. Interesting. That's cool. But that's it for real this time now. What a journey. It's honestly kind of sad though that it's over. This game's been a big thing on my mind ever since I first played it all that long time ago. And now it's kind of sad just seeing it go. But I'm glad I decided to come back and eventually finish this game. Or rather, I guess it'd be better to say that I actually properly played it this time. But that's going to do it for today. And for this series. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I hope to see you on the next adventure. Whether it be Chaos Child or something else. Hope to see you then. Peace.